Blackberries are brambles and related to raspberries and dewberries, and more distantly, roses. They grow as a shrub, and many are covered in prickles. They can be a bear to forage. You can eat blackberries fresh or use them in jams and desserts. Blackberries will tolerate some shade. They need at least 5 hours of sun and will do well if you plant them along a fence where they get at least half a day of sunlight. If you live in a hot climate, then afternoon shade is best. Blackberries are native to North America, and you will often see them in fields and forest meadows. These are the classic erect or bush style, and they will have prickers. You can often forage blackberries in parks if it is allowed. So, blackberries are often confused with black raspberries. They are related, but are two separate plants. Blackberries are soft and juicy, while black raspberries are firm. They are typically larger, shinier, and smoother than black raspberries. A blackberry has a soft white or green center. Black raspberries are hollow on the inside because they separate from their stem when plucked. Blackberries are among the easiest of all fruits to grow. They are very dependable. It's important to start with a good variety. Prime Arc Freedom is a thornless primocane fruiting blackberry bush that was developed by the University of Arkansas. They grow to be 4 or 5 feet tall and have large, sweet berries. They tolerate heat, humidity, and drought, so good for friends in zone 6 and 7. Triple Crown Thornless is another great one that many nurseries carry. Cato Blackberry is a thornless, erect growing blackberry cultivar developed again by the University of Arkansas. It's known for its large, flavorful berries. I had good luck with this one in my Kentucky garden. This is my favorite blackberry. I planted two and they perform spectacular. Apache is thornless and erect, and they are also resistant to rust. Hi, I'm Amy. Thanks for watching. I'm having a website sale where some of my PDF books are discounted for the summer of 2024. You can check out my paperback editions on Amazon. They are not on sale because Amazon has printing costs I have to pay, and I have a low markup on the books already. Basically, there are three types of blackberries: the erect, which are thorny or thornless cultivars. These blackberries are bushes that support themselves. They are also very winter hardy and my favorites. Semi-erect thornless blackberries need support or trellising. Their fruit is large and they have high yields. Some great cultivars. Trailing blackberries need support, and I don't recommend them. They are just too much trouble, have more disease issues, and there are lots of easier carefree varieties to choose from. While the erect varieties don't need support, I typically grow mine on a fence. They like to lean on the fence and it gives them support during storms. Like raspberries, blackberries are typically purchased as primocanes with 5 to 10 to a pack. Canes have shallow, fibrous roots. When you plant your canes, it's a good idea to give them a brief soak in water and trim off twisted roots. They need well-drained acidic soil. If you have heavy soil, add some green sand and plenty of compost. Take a soil test. You can watch my video on that. If your pH is higher than 6.5, mix in some cottonseed meal. Don't plant blackberries too deep. The crown should be level with the soil line and the roots close to the surface. If you purchase potted berries, plant them at the same level that they were in the pot. Ensure that the plant is placed at the same level it was in the container. They don't like wet feet, but do well in raised beds and containers. Stark Brothers Nursery has a good variety called Bushel and Berry Baby Cakes Blackberry Plant. It's a mouthful to say, but it's a good dwarf variety developed for urban gardeners. Plant erect varieties 3 feet apart and semi-erect varieties 5 feet apart. Blackberries like mulch. That can be landscaping fabric or a good hardwood mulch. Experts advise against planting blackberries near raspberries, and they say to separate them 75 to 100 feet. This is because raspberries are more susceptible to viral diseases carried by aphids from nearby plants. Honestly, I don't do this, and I've never had any problems except with yellow raspberries. And you can hear about that saga in my raspberry video. Plant when the canes are dormant, preferably in early spring. Planting can be done in late fall, but make sure you have a hardy variety. Delay planting until spring in very cold areas, as low temperatures could kill the crowns. For my Zone 5 friends, Eleni and Chester are hardy varieties that are good for cold weather. Blackberries are self pollinating, produce both male and female flowers, so you don't need multiple plants for fruit production. However, like with any other self fertile fruits, you will get better production when you plant at least two. Bees and other insects will pollinate for you too. Blackberries require annual pruning to remove old canes and encourage new ones. Prune in late winter or early spring before new growth appears. Prune out any dead, damaged, or diseased canes. Blackberries are perennials. However, the canes grow as biennials. The canes grow the first year and they do not produce fruit, but then the next year they will bear fruit. So we call this first year one the primocane and the second year one the floricane. After they produce fruit, you will need to cut them out of the plant because they will not produce again. Every year, the plant grows new canes to replace those that die. Blackberry canes can become sprawling if left unmanaged, so it's important to provide support. Install a trellis system or use sturdy stakes and wires to support the canes and encourage upright growth. So that's especially important for those semi-erect varieties. As the blackberry canes grow, gently tie them to the trellis or support structure to prevent them from flopping over. Leaf rust on blackberry plants was first reported in the United States in April 2005. Remove infected plants and use Monterey Fruit Tree Spray Plus to prevent spread. Aphids are a common and persistent problem, and they do spread diseases. They will suck on the leaves, causing them to curl up, turn yellow, and die. Try blasting them with the hose and use a soap spray on them. I have more aphid destruction plans in my video. Field mice love blackberries. Keep a clean garden and don't allow fruit to lay on the ground. If you have rodent issues, I suggest installing a predator nest box and hiring a local hawk or owl. Ripe blackberries will be black and plump. You will need to harvest every few days as they ripen over a course of several weeks. Blackberries are highly perishable and will only last a few days once you remove them. To freeze, lay them flat on a baking sheet, not touching. Stick the sheet in the freezer and let them freeze. Then pack them in freezer bags. That way they don't mush together when you freeze them. And of course, who can resist blackberry jam? Do you have any suggestions for videos? Leave me a comment below and watch the community tab for polls. Thanks for watching and have a fabulous day.